Discipline multiplies strategy. Consistent commercial rhythm beats sporadic bursts of strategic brilliance, in my experience. Brilliant strategy executed occasionally is almost worthless, but average strategy executed consistently can change a business. And here's why this matters. Most founders don't struggle with ideas. In fact, they probably have too many of them. They struggle with consistency. One week, you're visible everywhere. You post, you reach out, you follow up, you go to that event. The next week, nothing. No messages, no posts, no conversations. From the inside, it feels you're just as busy, and you probably are. But from the outside, the market hears nothing, and silence slowly erodes momentum. This is where most businesses stall. Not because the strategy was wrong, because the rhythm disappeared. And here's the thing, discipline multiplies your strategy, not the other way around. Most founders think they need a better plan, but what they actually need is better habits and a rhythm that repeats the plan they already have. Consistency keeps you present in the minds of others, and visibility creates trust. Trust creates opportunity. Most people believe growth comes from big moments, a viral post, a breakthrough campaign, a major announcement, a new website. That's rarely how businesses grow. Growth usually comes from boring commercial consistency. Small actions repeated weekly, especially in marketing and sales. The market doesn't reward occasional brilliance. It rewards predictable presence. This is the reframing. This isn't about motivation, it's about rhythm. Motivation is dependent on how we feel. Rhythm is about the right systems. And structure always beats emotion. I worked with a founder who had a very clear strategy. He knew his audience, he understood their problems. His ideas were excellent, but his visibility was inconsistent at best. Some weeks he would publish 3 or 4 thoughtful posts, then nothing for months. When I asked why, he said something interesting, which I'm sure he hasn't been the only person to say. I only post when I have time. That sounds valid, but it's a trap, because when time becomes the trigger, consistency disappears. Leaders are busy. There's always more to do than the time, resources, and energy to allow to do those things. So he shifted one thing. Instead of chasing inspiration, he created a weekly rhythm. Every Wednesday morning, same time, 1 hour, he spent the first 20 minutes reviewing signals. What conversations had happened last week? What questions did people ask? What resonated? The next 20 minutes were about decisions. What's one useful idea worth sharing this week? And the final 20 minutes was about execution. Write it, publish it, move on. Nothing fancy, just rhythm. Within 4 months, things had shifted. His presence prompted people to start conversations. More people replied to his posts. His pipeline increased. Conversations increased. Not because the strategy improved or changed, but because the discipline multiplied the strategy. So what can you do? Create 60-minute commercial rhythm as well. 1 hour, once a week, in 3 parts. First, signal review. Spend the first 20 minutes, look at what actually moved. Who responded to your last post? Who replied to your message? What questions did your customers ask? You're not judging yourself, you're looking for signals. Second, spend 20 minutes making a decision. Choose 1 to 3 commercial moves for the next week. That might be a post, a message, a follow-up. Third, spend 20 minutes, create the work, schedule a post, send the message, publish the idea, ship something to the market, get it out, then stop, and then go again the next week. The mistake a lot of smart leaders make in confusing intensity with discipline. They think discipline means doing more, so they launch a full campaign, produce 5 pieces of content, redesign their entire strategy. For 2 weeks, they push really, really hard. And then their energy fades, or they get distracted, or something takes over, and the rhythm disappears again. It feels productive, but it's fragile. Instead, reduce the intensity, increase the consistency, and ask a different question. Not what's the biggest thing I could do, but what's the smallest thing I will do every week? Consistency compounds. Intensity is short-lived. And the businesses that grow are usually the ones that simply stay visible, week after week. In the next 24 hours, block 60 minutes in your calendar that reoccurs. Call it commercial rhythm. Review the signals. Choose where you'll focus. Ship 1 piece of work and then repeat the next week. Because discipline multiplies strategy. And most businesses don't need a better strategy. They need the discipline to repeat the one they already have.